Look, I'm sitting.
Ken, even after beating Hawthorn last week, you said you weren't exactly happy. What's the emotions today?
Oh, look, a little the same, that we know we have to play better than that, but we certainly acknowledge the improvement of the Melbourne Footy Club. I reckon that's one thing that we know after today again. You know, they've been quietly sneaking along without too much being made, but their performances have been really solid. You know, you can see what Roosy's been able to do for them. They're in every contest now. They're absolutely quickly emerging, I think, from where they've been.
John Viewer at home probably thinks that there must be some complacency if number 1 gets pushed by number 15, but they're hard to play against, aren't they?
Oh yeah, that's disrespectful to Melbourne. You know, I think as we said, in the competition every week you turn up and play. You don't play at your best. You get into a bit of a dogfight, and even at your best, sometimes you're still going to have to fight really hard to get to the result you want. But in the end, we were able to be strong enough, and I think that's a good sign that we were able to be strong enough when it counted.
Were you off today, or was that them not allowing you to play your footy?
No, they were doing a good job of restricting what we were able to do. Early, we started the game the way we liked, and then unfortunately they were able to put the clamps on us a little bit, and we couldn't get the ball back off them. I think they ended up with about 60 more possessions than us, and that's the way they play a little bit. We probably don't use the ball as much as that, but you know that's what they were able to do to us.
Are you concerned it might have been a letdown, coming off a couple of big games in a bye?
No, I don't ever worry about that too much, because I think the boys know how hard it is to play and win, you know, and they're pretty good at that. But you know, again, we've had to travel and we've had to come away and you know, play against an up and coming side that's getting better, bit like ourselves. We might just be a step or two in front of where Melbourne are coming from, but they're certainly improving really well.
Were you happy, Ken, with the last quarter? Melbourne obviously challenged, and you guys really stepped it up, led by your skipper in the second half.
Yeah, I thought we were really strong in the last 10 minutes of the game, where we, as I said, we looked like we just had that little bit more experience probably to play the game the way we wanted to play it in that last 10 minutes of the game, and clearly that was enough in the end to get us over the line.
We know how good bloke he is, but does he even surprise you at times with what he can do out there?
No, and Travis played with a significant ankle injury today. There's no doubt he rolled it early in the game, and you know, we had some help to get through the game, and I've just had a look at his ankle. It's quite a big ankle, something that they can sometimes do, and look, he'll probably have a bit of a challenge to come up next week, I reckon, the way it looks.
How close did you come to subbing him with the ankle early on?
Well, really close, because we took a while to get him back on the ground, and we wanted to make sure he was able to go. I spoke to him, and he said, no, it's feeling okay now, because he had some help, and he said, I'm right to go. And I said, well, I want you to make a good early call, because I didn't want to make an injury worse by leaving him out there if that was going to be the case.
How's Chad Wingard?
Yeah, Chad's actually okay in the rooms. He's I think, friendly fire. His own teammates got him. I haven't actually seen it, but someone said that Schultz's leg got him, but Chad said he was fine. He was more angry the way he'd been playing, I think, for the best part of the day, for why he still was out in the ground. So, but he looks pretty bright and pretty fresh in there at the moment. Whether he's got any lasting effects, we'll wait and see through the rest of the week.
What areas of the game you have to work on, you think, for the Saints game?
Oh, I think we will always have to keep working on all parts of our game. I thought we were pretty strong defensively in the second half. I thought that's what we were able to correct, and I think at half-time Melbourne on track for 50-plus entries, and I think we were able to keep them to 43 in the end, which I think probably won us the game.
It must be handy having a player such as Justin Westhoff to, particularly in that last quarter, do it at both ends. Yeah,
it was really good today for Westy. Actually, he's back in some good form today. I thought he'd be the first to admit that he's been playing okay without playing real good footy, and today was pretty important. Obviously, he kicked a couple of goals, and in that last bit of play, when we've used him down there, he's been pretty safe for us and pretty strong and held up pretty well.
Can it ring under 11? You've still got 12 rounds to go. Where are you at right now, do you think?
10 and what are we? 9 and 1. That's where we're at. Unfortunately, that's all I can probably. I don't know where we're at. We're in a really good position as far as win-loss, and that's all we can go by. Obviously, it has us on top of the ladder, but we do know it's what is it? Just over half the season still to go. So it doesn't mean a lot right now. We've done really good work to get to where we are, but it's a long season, and we've got to be mindful of that.
Is both Chad and Travis then touch and go for next week, do you think?
Well, yeah, I suppose it's a simple answer. As you would expect that they'll both have to improve and get through next week pretty well. Chad, I think, more so than Travis, to be honest. He looks pretty good, and he's feeling pretty good, so he's not feeling sick or anything in the room. So I think that's a pretty good sign. And Travis's ankle, as I looked at Travis's ankle, I'd say it's got some question marks on it.
Yeah. Were you, your forward line today, was it just their good defence, or were you a little bit concerned about how you played in attack?
Oh yeah, we were. We were concerned with what we allowed Melbourne to do to us in that area of the ground. You know, and we probably just didn't use the ball as well as we would like going there, and we weren't able to win some battles that we wanted to win going in there. And that's credit to Melbourne. As I said, they're in really good shape as far as what they're setting up well forward defensively, and their game style that they play suits those numbers back and play off that.
A couple of times it looked a bit like you were bombing it in. Did you feel the same way? Or did you just...
I thought we were rushing it in a little bit.
Yeah.
Thought we're certainly rushing it in a little bit, but you know, that's a hard one for us just because we play that way a little bit. We move the ball quite quick when we're up and about.
Yeah.
So when you get into a game like that, it's a hard habit to break.
Yeah.
It's not one that we want to go away from too much, but we have to acknowledge the opposition sometimes, and today we didn't acknowledge that early enough.
So good coaching from Paul Rees, in other words, as well.
Yeah, I think they did a really good job. As I said, they played the game. A lot of the game, albeit we won the game, they played a lot of the game in the fashion that they wanted to play it, and that frustrated us a fair bit.
What's your impression playing a game for premiership points here at Alice Springs?
I thought it was fantastic, to be honest. The ground was in great nick. That's the main thing for us to come and play. We don't mind, you know, we get the opportunity to come up here into the central corridor and represent the club, and we've grown the area that we've been amongst now for quite some time. In my short time, I've been up here twice now, and 3 times actually, twice to Alice Springs, once to Darwin. So we enjoy coming up here, and we don't mind playing up here, especially when the ground's in the condition it is. Hopefully for local communities, they get a chance to come and see AFL football for points, and I reckon that's really good. If we can get that opportunity to do that, we should look to try and do it when we can.
You'll be coaching against Richo next week. Does that add extra spice for you, or just another game?
No, not really. No, it's good that Richo... I've coached against him already, actually. We played him in a NAB Cup game at Alberton, so we've had that opportunity. Richo will know a lot about us. We know a lot about what Richo's like, you know, and he'll be keen to do well, and obviously we're going to be keen to do just as well back against him.
Radio silence for the week?
Yeah, no, I actually spoke to Richo this morning, funnily enough, so we've had some communication. That might be where it stops for the rest of the week. I'm sure he would have been watching the game today.
Happy with the Jake Needs game today?
Yeah, Jakey was pretty good. His first game back, and that's the key thing for Jake. It's Jake, Paul Stewart only in his second game, and Andrew Moore in their first game. Moore played as sub. It's good that they're in good form in the Sample with the Magpies.
Serviceable.
Yeah, and they're in good form in the Magpies, but again, it's a significant step up from the Magpies to the AFL, and you know, you've got to give them opportunities to taste that and feel that pressure. That's what we're mindful of.
All right, thanks guys.
Thanks, mate.
Good on you.